this edition of the Forex Market Preview. It is the 13th, I believe, of January today, and I'm a little under the weather, so I'm going to kind of buzz through the markets here. Had a really rough week for pattern traders this last week. Andre and I were discussing it very briefly on Hip Chat, just sharing some charts with me, and I had several trades that I got busted out on. Took a couple of rips, and he was sharing some of the same things with me. So most of the stuff that I looked at last week didn't work out. That's the way it works. Not just the stuff that I showed you, but the other stuff that I traded. But I thought I wanted to take a minute before we get started here and just show you the new site, the Trade Empowered site. And kind of explain to you what you're looking at here. First thing is this while you were sleeping piece. For those of you who live in the United States or who live in, who might trade the U.S. Session, what I've got here is basically a daily recap of what happened in Asia and what happened in Europe, and also the headlines that really go with that. So you see a lot of pertinent news events, and a lot of times you won't have anything. This is a kind of what I used to do when I came into the markets was kind of flip through some of the news and just see what was out there, what headlines had hit, what major news events had happened, and this is kind of your ability to come every single day and just get a quick recap of what's happened in the market. Here in the middle is where most of the stuff you're going to be, some of the stuff you'll be interested in will be. You've got the, this is the market wire. Well, this will be regularly updated, sometimes sometimes twice a day. And the most recent one here is, I don't know who put this post up. It looks like it's Akil. Akil put this post up, so he's got a little blurb in here, probably from his live trading room, and give you some insight into his stuff. And if you click on his name right here under categories, you'll actually see all the stuff that he's posted. So if you want to watch a few more of his videos, I don't want to get too detailed with this stuff. Then the Forex Market Preview, and also Your Market Outlook. This is something that Todd does for equities and futures traders. So if you happen to be a Forex guy, but you also have investment portfolio, or you dabble in gold and oil and some of that type of stuff, Your Market Outlook might be something that you want to subscribe to in addition to the Forex Market Preview. And then, of course, here, and that's free, of course, doesn't cost you anything. And, of course, here on the side, we've got the live trading rooms here. So any of these live trading rooms that you might want to subscribe to or read Akil's most recent post or Scott's or George's, you can just click on it and it'll take you to their most recent video that they did regarding the live room and some of the stuff that's going on in there. So just a lot of stuff for you guys to look at. Now, Trader Resources, of course, just kind of outlines all the stuff that we've got, and we're still doing this. Obviously, we don't have very nice pictures here, but we'll have some stuff up some imagery that'll be cool. And then, of course, again, if you wanted to subscribe to the Forex Market Preview or Your Market Outlook, you can do so right there. So, anyway, I just wanted to take a minute and run you through that so that you could see it, and that's really it. Let's go ahead and run through these markets quickly today. We're going to start off with the Aussie. Looking at the 2618 trade that we were looking at last week that was busted out. I took a hit on that, and now the market is pulling back. Well, that resistance level is going to be, should be a support level as we come down into it, 105.17s. Now, the interesting thing is if I actually go out to a daily chart here, you're going to see that this market actually came up into and stopped on a dime right there at that last little lip of a resistance level. So we could be looking at potentially a false breakout here, especially with the, it's not a fully engulfing, it's not an engulfing candle, but it certainly was a heavy retraction off of that level at around 06s. So I would just be cautious of that. Again, we've got the trend line here. And, you could, it's not really. The trend line was broken, and now we've seen the pop up, back up into this resistance level. We were really watching this for another 2618 trade, and none of it worked out. It's just one of those situations where, hey, you do a lot of analysis, you make your best play, you pick your stuff that's got the best risk reward, and it works out, it doesn't work out. The important thing is that you're continuing to trade your plan. And for those of you who are looking for some shorting opportunities here, the only real place to, we're going to have to wait for some more structure to set up. I got nothing to short here. So the only real play here is a buy at 105.60 17s. Moving along to the pound. The pound has already broken structure here. As we look, 161.12. Next stop, really, is 162.90s. We've come up, we pulled back into the 382. The 382 at 162.12, showing some potential support. Also here with this big black candle that was beaten back. So certainly some trend continuation buying opportunities here for the market to rally. But no advanced pattern or anything like that to to set up on. Taking a look at Canada. Canada's got nothing in terms of a pattern formation here on the 4-hour chart, and I try not to go too many levels deep on this to just kind of give you an overview of the market. The last thing that we've got here is the market's come down into structure right here, and we've held that structure level. If I can consolidate my chart up, you're going to see it's a pretty significant shelf that we're sitting on right now. In order for us to verify that this is actually a level that's going to hold, we actually have to break above 98.78s. So we need to see the market rally here before we've got a confirmation that we've got to break a structure. So I'll be watching that, but right now Canada is not a player. Looking at the yen, we've done nothing but just stair step all the way up again. Further evidence that I don't know where this sucker's going to turn. I don't know when it's going to retrace. I don't know what kind of retracement we're going to get out of it. But I can tell you that this market has shown no signs that it intends to go anywhere but higher. So I tried to take a short position on this I think early last week and paid a penalty for it, and I don't want to make that mistake again. I had an advanced pattern here on EURAUD on the daily chart that ended up paying off nicely. And now the market has rallied sharply, as you can see. And this is one of the things that is so unnerving to us as technical traders that we see happen, is the market does something like this, where we break structure. The market indicates that it wants to go lower. It breaks this structure level to the downside. And then boom, when we retrace, we don't retrace back up into that structure level as you would expect. What we end up doing is we end up rallying all the way up here into kind of no man's land and then pausing at the end of the week. But this has been just a straight tirade. If I bring up the RSI, you're going to see RSI is overbought at 88. And again, there's no trade here. I got nothing that I can look at here and say, well, there's a trade that puts me in a strategically advantageous position. And if I don't see that, then I've got to sit on my hands. Sometimes you do that, like we're going to see in the pound yen trade. You see that setup happen, and you take the trade, and you still lose. But at least you know that, hey, over time, if you continue to trade that plan, that you're going to make money. With something like this, well, we just want to leave it alone. I don't care if you trade the Euro Aussie all the time. Right now, looking at this chart, there's no trade here on the 4-hour. So I have to take a pass. Euro pound. Euro pound just broke out of the previous highs at 82.21. And with that breakout, I was actually looking for another cipher pattern. We didn't retrace deep enough to grab the 786s, which would have been about here. If this leg had just come down a little bit farther, we could have grabbed it and most likely would have caught that move, but life didn't turn out that way. In a perfect world, that would have been awesome. But instead, the market rallied, came up into the 1414, and now has kind of held up here. What I would normally like to see with the reversal of this type of move is to take the inversion of this leg, which is what I've done, and look for that 1618 extension and see if I can find a little bit of structure around that level. If I just drop in a line here, scroll left to see, we have to go out to a daily. Let's pop to a daily here. And looking at the potential structure, there's a little bit of support there. Oh yeah, here we go. There's a nice little support level back there. So yeah, potentially if we continue to rally up into the 1618, there's going to be a level to short there on euro pound. Now, here's the thing: is this would be a purely counter trend play. So if the market continues to rally up into this 1618, yeah, we've got structure there, but look at what we've also got. We've also got a very nice trending market here over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, really. And overall, this market is showing an intention to go higher. So, do you want to short the market or do you want to look for the trend continuation play? Now, the trend continuation play is to look for the market to come back down into 8221s, to see the market come back down this direction and look for buying opportunities around there. It's really up to you in how you want to manage that trade. Euro yen, again, same thing as the euro dollar. The dollar yen. In looking at this, just a stair stepper all the way up. It just continues to rally, breaking ceilings all the way along. So, not going to mess with it. Going to leave it alone. No advanced pattern. Nothing to give me any indication that we're hitting a turning point here on the 4-hour chart. So, I'm going to move on, try and find something a little greener to look at. Let me see. Euro New Zealand. Again, nothing here. There's no advanced pattern setups. Had a couple of huge cipher pattern winner that I threw out to syndicate members. But let me see what else. Nothing. Pound yen. Pound yen was one we talked about last week on the daily chart, and it doesn't do any good to hide the bad trades. You got to take the good with the bad. But we looked at the stovepipe that the pipe that existed here, where the market came up, bearish engulfing candle right there. These two candles put together. I said, hey, there's a chance here that this market is going to retrace, and it's significant. And there's very limited risk relative to the reward that we could receive. And sure enough, boom, we got a very nice black candle, and I even got some messages from some people said, man, you really called that thing on the nose. Awesome job, man. I was like, well, we're going the right direction. I don't know. I mean, this type of move on the daily chart doesn't say anything. And of course, that's exactly what happened as the market, rallied right back up and ended up, stopping anybody out who would have been in that position. And that's why I say, until you put your money in the bank, it doesn't do any good to say, well, to call the reversal on a dime, which oftentimes I'll do. It's not a rare occurrence for me to call the tops or the bottoms. But if you're looking for a 382, it doesn't do any good if you call the top and then the market comes down into here around 37.96s and then rallies on you. You didn't pull any money out of the market, so it didn't do you any good. And I always try and be humble when I'm right, and ask that people be forgiving when I'm wrong, because certainly that was the case in this particular trade. Now that's not really the worst of it, because to add insult to injury, we also had a cipher pattern right here on the 4-hour chart. If I look right here, boom, that 4-hour cipher was a sell right here, ended up selling these 142 evens, basically pretty close to 142s, and market just went straight north for me on that. So I took a double penalty this week. I got raked twice. Well, that's all right, and it's, again, I go back to it and I just say, listen, you're going to have weeks where you feel like you can't do anything wrong. You're like the golden boy. Everything you touch just ends up being a winner, and everything you look at ends up printing money for you. And you're going to have other weeks when you feel like, man, do I really know what I'm doing? And you'll question whether or not whether you really know what it is that you're doing or not. So I would say last week, again, if you were a ratio trader, if you're a structure trader last week, and you felt like you kind of got raked over the coals, it's 1 week. Get right back on the saddle, start looking for some good trading opportunities next week. And then, last but not least, the pound New Zealand here, and I don't think there's really nothing here that is of interest to me either. So hopefully I'll find some stuff here on the 60-minute chart into next week that will give me some opportunities or something like that. But as of right now, there's just not a whole lot in terms of advanced pattern recognition or even structure plays that I'm seeing in the market here, because last week was such an oddball week with the structure being violated and a bunch of markets moving back into trend. We had the ECB out with a lot of news and was out with they were making statements last week, which of course caused a huge rally in the euro. It just those are the types of things that we deal with as traders. So we'll scratch this one off and start again new next week. Now, last thing, if you guys haven't registered for the international, I'm going to show you just how easy that is to do. You just go to the Trade Empowered site, click on Register Now, and it's going to take you to the page. And I've got a whole lot of stuff here you can read on it if you want to, if you're so inclined. And of course, if you want to listen, I've actually recorded all of the written text down here for you in this nice little ugly PowerPoint presentation that I put together. That's totally up to you. We're filling quite a bit of seats. I think with our mastermind group, we've got 40 or 50 people registered already to attend. So you're going to be in very good company as you show up, and that does not include people who are bringing a friend, because I'm letting you bring a friend for free to the workshop, so or to the summit. So if you haven't signed up for the Technical Trader Summit, do so now before we hit our 200 capacity, and we're forced to shut it, because I'm serious. I can't take more than 200 people. That's the max. I've already got the rooms secured. I've got the event hall that we're using will not accommodate 400 people. So if you're waiting or you're sitting around going, I'm really not really sure, March is a long way away, it's not that long away. Make sure that you're getting registered now, because the first emails went out about it yesterday, on Friday, and we keep, there's just people steady Eddie just keep signing up. So get registered for that, and I'll see you here in Kansas City on March 16th. Is that right? March? Did I get my dates right? Hang on. I know you guys are like, 15th and 16th. Yeah, the 16th is actually my birthday. So the last day of the event is my birthday. So, March 15th and 16th, right here in Kansas City. I'm excited to meet you guys. A lot of you I've talked with for months, or in some cases years. And you're finally getting around to coming to Kansas City, and we're going to spend a couple of really, really great days. Todd and I have been in communication literally every day talking about the stuff that we're putting together for the Trader Summit. And I guarantee you, this is going to be like nothing that you have ever been to before. This is not a pitch fest. It's not an event where you're going to come and get sold a bunch of crap. This is a bunch of stuff where you're going to be given a bunch of stuff. All designed to help improve your trading, improve your efficiency, your productivity, and make you better traders. So if you haven't had a chance to sign up, please do so. I'll see you there. Until next time, trade empowered, live abundant. I'll talk to you guys soon.